Here we go. So, if you haven't heard Danny's name before, you probably have. She's hosted a national wake up call. She's just on fire. Her team's on fire. She is a founder of Team Boss Babes. She's been a coach since 2015. And hopefully you can follow this here. Her like credentials are she's an 8-star diamond coach in her first business center. She's a 5-star diamond coach in her second business center. She's a 1-star diamond coach in her third business center. She's a 2019-2020 premier coach. She's a 2021 elite coach, and she's currently ranked number 36 in the entire network. So she knows what's up. And one thing that I've always loved about Danny's calls is that she really just tells it how it is and brings the fire. And I just feel like that's something our team specifically needs to hear right now. And I know myself specifically, you know, we're halfway through the year. We have so much more of the year left to go. And I think it's so important to start the second half of the year with the same tenacity and fire that we start the first half of the year with. And I know everyone has a lot going on this time of year, so I'm just excited for her to bring the fire tonight. So Danny, go for it.
Yay. Thank you. Hi guys, thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here. So tonight I'm just going to talk about like keeping the momentum in your business. I've been a coach, like she said, for the last 6 years now. And today I am officially 60 months consecutive in Success Club. Which is no easy feat. And obviously that's 5 years straight. So that means I missed Success Club one time in my business as a coach. It was actually month 16 that I missed Success Club by 1 point. And I vowed then and there that I would never, ever miss Success Club again. And I never, ever have. Not throughout pregnancy, not throughout having a C-section, not throughout being a first-time mom, not throughout moving, not throughout heartbreak, not throughout anything. Because when this business is important to you, you will do whatever it takes to make it happen, and you won't make excuses for why it didn't. So there is nothing that will keep me from missing Success Club. And I know some people are like, it's just points, it's just stupid prizes and things like that, but it's really not. Because if you were a brick and mortar business owner and you went an entire month with no new customers, how successful is that business? Okay, how stressful is that bank loan going to be that month when you brought in no new revenue, right? That is not a recipe for success in how to build this business long term. And that's what you should be thinking of. Whether your dreams, your grandest plans with this business is just to have your products covered every single month, that requires you helping new people every single month get started. On average, our Shakeology customers stay on for 2 months. So by month 2, you would have no more commission coming in if that's all that you're looking for, right? So I don't believe that this business is hard. I do believe that it takes hard work. But the great thing about it is that any day you can just decide that today I'm all in from here on out. These are my non-negotiables. Here's my line in the sand. Here's what I will compromise. Here's what I won't. And you get to decide that. And that's so incredible about this business, is that it can look however you want. So my dream is to be the top coach in the company, and I've stated it and I want it and I'm going after it, right? But yours, again, might just be to be a solid diamond coach who brings in a steady paycheck each week for your family to help out with bills, or to put towards savings, or to put towards debt that you might have, or maybe just a guilt-free pedicure, for gosh sakes, right? Like, it doesn't really matter what your dreams are with this business. Anything's possible if you're willing to put in the work. So obviously, you know, today, technically last night, is launch day for Beachbody, but you can launch anything at any time, because your audience is going to be excited about whatever you're excited about. I have about 25 women going through 80-day obsession with me right now, just because I decided 40 days ago that I was going all in with 80-day obsession and I was ready to get the best results of my life. Did anyone want to do it with me? And people were like, knocking down my door to do 80-day obsession, right? A lot of coaches on my team, a lot of current customers. And then I had some new people like, yeah, I want in on that. Like, whatever you're doing, right? It's whatever you're excited about. So, maybe Let's Get Up wasn't your jam. And I know for a lot of people, they felt like, I'm not into dancing. That's not really my thing. Like for me, it was totally my jam, and my team exploded the launch. It was incredible, right? But it doesn't really matter what Beachbody's launching. It's what you are excited about. But how cool is it that Beachbody continually gives us opportunities to have something exciting to talk about? Like, I think this new $45 promo is one of the best ideas I've ever heard. Literally telling people they're going to get paid to get results. Like, it's genius. So again, at any time you can decide what you're excited about and you can go all in with that. So I do think that if you want to have longevity in this business, you have to get really, really, really good at the vital behaviors. And you also need to be crystal, crystal clear on what it is that you want from this business. So tell me in the chat something that a goal that you had this year that you missed. Tell me a goal that you had this year so far that you've missed. I'll tell you mine. So my team has attempted to shoot for Superstar twice in 2021. And we have not had one rank advancement during either of those pushes. So SE once, you missed it, or SE every month, but you missed it once. Hitting Success Club last month, Success Club in my husband's business center, missed it. Right. Okay. So you can look around and see that everybody on this call and every coach in the network has goals that they put out there and that they missed. And that is totally normal. I've shot for Superstar twice, and not only was it a failure, we didn't advance anyone. We actually had people drop during those pushes. So we didn't advance, we actually went backwards, right? So you have to understand that this isn't like you put out goals, you hit it, and then everything is sunshine and rainbows, or that you are the only one that misses goals. And so that gives you a reason to be down on yourself and to not work your business. Every coach, from newest to oldest, we all have the same problems. We all miss goals. We all have coach cancellations. We all have people that ghost us. We all have people that pick other coaches. We all have coaches that sign up and cancel. We all have coaches that get one coach away from Diamond and then just sit there for 500 years and never do anything, right? Like, we all have the same problems. The only difference between failure and success is the mindset that you have around it. And the things that I have learned the most that have helped me propel my business to success is that if I am working on my mindset more than worrying about what's not happening in my business, then I'm already winning. So the Danny that signed up in 2015 is nothing like 2021 Danny. Like, attempted shot at Superstar and failed not only once, but twice, that would have sent me into a negative spiral for weeks, if not months, right? I say that with a grain of salt because, again, I've only ever missed Success Club once in my business. I will not miss Success Club for anything. It is a non-negotiable. I will not miss it. And I will not bring in less than 2 coaches a month to my business because I don't want to be on this hamster wheel. Because getting my products paid for is awesome. I have never paid into the business, not one single month in 6 years, no matter how much I order, especially now at this point, having 4 business centers, like, that's a lot of product to order, right? I've never paid into my business, and I won't, because I believe that coaches should have everything for free. And the way I get it for free is by helping other people. But I won't bring in less than 2 coaches because I know on average 1 coach a month is going to quit. And at some point, I was tired of the diamond, emerald, diamond, emerald, diamond, emerald hangover that I was having for the first year of my business because I went diamond very fast. And so again, I had to draw that line in the sand of like, okay, I don't want to have to worry every single Wednesday who's inactive, messaging people. Like, that's not for me. I don't want that. All right. Now, sometimes you're going to go through qual and that's going to happen, but I don't want that every week. And so I want to know that my business is solid. And the only way that I can do that is by helping new people get started on my team every single month. Raise your hand if you feel more comfortable inviting to challenge groups versus coaching. Okay, that's most coaches. And it's so silly because our compensation plan does not reward for retail sales. Our compensation plan rewards for building a team. And if you want to have a paycheck that you know is going to be deposited every single Thursday, then build a team. If you want to be hustling to slang a challenge pack in 5 years from now, go ahead and just focus on customers. And it's not to say that one is better than the other, but I personally, let's say 5 years from now, I'm in Hawaii with my family and we're at the luau and the fire dancers dancing and the girls are shaking their hips on stage. I want to be watching that. I don't want to be on my phone trying to make sure that I get a challenge pack in to pay for that luau the next week. I want to put my phone down and enjoy my time with my family. And so the difference is customers versus coaches. So this is like a major switch that I had in my business a couple years ago, and it's really exploded our team because I've helped my team adopt the same mindset. Is the team is your best offer. I spend most of my time with my coaches. I don't text with my customers. I'm not getting on one-on-one calls with my customers. I'm not flying to Texas like I did last weekend for my customer's wedding. I'm doing that for my coach's wedding, right? The team is where my heart is, and it's where I want to spend my time, because a coach and a customer, they don't have the same opportunity. A customer can order a challenge pack and never work out, and right, they got what they paid for, right? But a coach, they get a team, they get a community, they get a support system, they get an opportunity to change their freaking life. And they get to do it with an army of women around them who just want to see them reach their goals. And it's not to say that we don't care about our customers. We totally do. It's just different, right? Like, think about a professional football game or a baseball game that you went to. Like, when the team wins, where do they all run? To each other. They're not running into the stands to high five the crowd, right? They run to each other because that's their team. And so I want to be on the field with my team, and customers are great. I love them, right? But I want to work with women who want more out of life. I want to work with women who want to work on their mindset. I want to work with women who, uh, uh, you know, champion other women, not tear them down. And so when I decided that I was only going to be talking about coaching, and again, that's not to say I don't talk about groups, I still do, but my main focus is inviting to the team through my posts, through my stories, and talking about it relentlessly. Because let me tell you, people want from you whatever you talk about. So if you feel like you struggle to hit Success Club, it's because you struggle to sell a challenge pack. Now, why are you struggling to sell a challenge pack? It's probably because you only showcase your workouts. I mean, we're all really good at showing our workouts, right? Like, at some point, it just becomes this natural thing that you're just really good at, right? It's like, it's like brushing your teeth. You just do it. And so when that's all your audience sees from you, they believe that your results, the happiness that came from working out. So when then you get in a conversation with them and they're like, I just want the workouts, that's your light bulb moment that you haven't done a great enough job of showcasing where your results truly came from. Because we all know that you can work out as hard as you want, but if you're not fueling your body from the inside out, those results aren't going to come, and they're certainly not going to be as great. So you have to make it a point every single day to show your audience, and not in a way to sell them, but a way to educate them and just share the value of what you're using every single day to enhance the results that your workouts are giving you. Okay. Like we have two world-class nutrition programs. Your people don't get that when they just get workouts from you. They have to get a challenge pack to get those nutrition programs. So those two nutrition programs alone are worth the extra cost. And of course, we know that Shakeology, Energize, Recover are just world class as well. So of course, we want our people to get that. Um, so you should have no problem hitting Success Club if you have no problem showcasing the supplements that you're using along with those workouts. Now, how many of you have ever said, none of my coaches want to do anything? Okay. That's your light bulb moment that the way you're presenting the opportunity is for a discount. If you are only talking about a savings, you are not going to attract women who want more out of life because I don't care about a savings. Will I take it? Sure. But it's not going to make or break me signing up if I'm interested in doing it. It's either I want it or I don't. And if there's a savings attached, awesome. But most likely I'm just going to check out anyways because I want that thing. If I'm a go-getter, if I'm a high-powered, career-driven type woman, a savings is not why I'm going to sign up to be a coach. I want to hear about what opportunities I have, the community, the income potential, the rewards, the perks, what is in it for me? And again, not everyone cares about a savings. So maybe you do, and that's great. That can be a perk. But if that's all you're leading with, and then you're upset that these people signing up for a discount don't want to work, that's on you. They didn't sign up to work. So we have to let go of these expectations of that, once I get them in, they're going to want to do it. Maybe, but that's not why they're coming on. And I can say, since I switched this mindset, is that the majority of women I sign up are coming in to build a business. Doesn't mean they all do. Again, nothing's ever 100%. You're not going to get all business builders, right? I don't really believe that's the thing. There's not like women sitting out there with a sign that says business builders just waiting for someone to message them. No, but there are incredible women out there watching you or watching another coach. And if they knew of the opportunity in front of them, not just a savings, they might say yes. Or they might say yes to attending a sneak peek, or they might say yes to hearing more information from you. But you have to look at the language that you're using when you're presenting coaching on your stories or in your posts, and then match that up with the people that you're bringing in. So if everyone's coming in for a discount, you cannot be mad at them that they only want a discount and they don't want to post on social and they don't want to ask their friends to join, right? Like I give everybody the opportunity who says yes to a challenge pack to sign up as a coach, because it's not my right to say who gets to be a coach and who doesn't, right? So if they say yes to a challenge pack, that's always my last question is, hey, there's two options to sign up today. Which sounds best to you, right? And I let them choose because it's not my decision. And if the thought of asking that question scares you, you need to do it. Because that means that you are holding back from signing up some of your greatest coaches because you're scared of what they might say. And how is that fair to them? Right? Like, what if my coach had never asked me? My coach quit, spoiler alert, right? Still found a way to be successful, but I'm forever grateful that she asked me 5 times to be a coach, because that's how many times it took for me to say yes. Because I didn't want to sell anything. I didn't have time, wasn't interested in network marketing. Like, no, right? Like, didn't care about a discount. Like, again, I don't care about a discount. So you have to be the brave one for them. You never know who's on the other side of this, dying to be noticed by someone, dying to be asked. Because most people are never going to ask you. Maybe if they're type 3 like myself, then they'll ask, right? But most people are not going to seek you out and bang down your door to join your team. It's just not going to happen. So I would love for you guys, when we get off this call, to go to your social media and take stock of the last 30 posts that you've made. Tally how many times you talked about fitness. tally how many times you talked about the coaching opportunity, tally how many times had a call to action, and then gauge that based on your June results that you got. And that should tell you right there what you need to be talking about more. And it's probably you need to be talking about the coaching opportunity more. Because I'm guessing if you're on this call, you have an interest in building a business. So it might be July 6th, and maybe you haven't achieved any of your goals that you wanted this year. My quarter 1 goal was superstar. My quarter 2 goal was superstar. We are not a superstar team. Okay. But I haven't let that stop me from going after it. Guess what? There's no deadline for success. You just keep trying again. Right. And your quote unquote failures are going to give you the credibility to lead an incredible team. Because nobody is inspired by the person who never loses. Nobody. Because it's not relatable. Nobody's inspired by that girl, right? But people are inspired by the person who loses, gets back up, and tries again. There's an awesome book. It's called Freakishly Effective Leadership for Network Marketers by Ray Higdon. It's incredible. And he states in the book that people are more inspired by a distributor who took 2 years to make their first sale than the person who came in and made 10 grand in their first month. And now that's a lot of times what Beachbody highlights, right? Is the person who comes in and goes elite in their first year. And that is really inspiring. But guess what? I hit elite for the first time last year, and it was my goal every year. It took me 5 years to hit elite. And it still felt so sweet to be an elite team. And guess what? This Friday, when the elite report comes out, we're going to be a 2-time elite team. So it may have taken me 5 years, but we did it in 5 months last year. And we did it in 6 months this year. And you know you have to do it with a whole new team because people drop off and you don't get the same people. So to me, that tells me that it took me 5 years to become the coach that could lead an elite team. But now that I am, I'm just continuing to get better. And you can do that same thing as long as you don't look as your failures as final. Because I could have said, well, we missed it in 2016. Well, we missed it in 2017. Well, we missed it in 2018. Oh, missed it again in 2019. I'll just take that one off the list, right? I'm not meant for that. And that's what so many coaches do with Diamond. They miss it, or they set a Diamond date and they miss it, or they get close and then somebody cancels, or their whole leg goes inactive, which, crazier things have happened, right? Or, their mom says they won't support them or buy Shakeology, like their mom's the only person out there, right? Like, I've seen it so many times, and they make that failure final. And then before you know it, all of their coaches have gone inactive. So they were 1 coach or 2 coaches away, and now they're not even an Emerald coach because they let that become their experience with Beachbody. And then they want to blame it on the company or the model or the team or whatever, right? But really, all of our experiences is what we decide it is. So I could have said for 5 years straight, the elite program's unfair. It's not fair that only, the last 2 years of coaches count for points when all my coaches at Hit Success Club are in this, right? Like, I've heard all the reasons why, things are unfair. But really, maybe I just wasn't the person that was meant to lead an elite team then. And I had to do a lot of work up here to become that person. But I still had a ton of success on the way. Never Missing Success Club, advancing my business to 2-star, to 3-star, right? Hitting Premier 2 years in a row, having success starters, advancing diamonds, advancing people to 1-star, earning the New Leaders Conference. Like, I had a lot of success on the way. It would be silly for me to stop and look at this one failure, even though I've had a million, right? But the one failure of missing elite, and I'm not meant for this. Because if I had decided that, I wouldn't be about to be a 2-time elite coach. I wouldn't be earning 6 figures because before that, I wasn't. right? My business wouldn't have been exploded the way it did in 2020. Just for reference, okay? Just for reference. In 2019, we advanced 1 diamond in the whole downline. 1. Just 1. Okay. In 2020, we advanced 22 diamonds in the downline. And it was because at the end of 2019, I decided that my focus was growth and that all I was going to talk about was the team. The team you join matters, because I truly believe that. And that is what I went hard with. I stopped worrying about who wasn't doing what, because that'll kill your joy faster than anything. I started focusing on what I could do better. And I started looking for people who were running no matter where they were in the downline. Because I get it. You're like, well, I don't want to give her all my time. She doesn't advance me. She's not going to, right? I get it. Trust me. Okay. But if you want to build an organization that's going to pay dividends, you got to build deep. And sometimes the personally sponsored coaches you have aren't the ones running at that moment. And I have found the most joy for me is running with whoever wants to run, because that's what a team is. And your coaches will always have the opportunity to decide to get on the train and get moving with you. But you can't sit still because Sally on the left and Jody on the right don't want to go emerald, so you can't go diamond. You can't go diamond because you're waiting on other people for your success. Or you can't go 1 star, you can't go 2 star because you're waiting on other people for your success. And nobody is responsible for your success except for you. So all this time you spend feeling down or worrying about who's not doing what, or blah, 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 all the million things that coaches worry about, you could be taking that energy and going out there and finding people who do want to go emerald and do want to go diamond and do want to run this business with you. And I promise you they're out there. No matter what kind of Jedi mind tricks our mind tries to play on us, there are people out there. 1 billion people a day use Instagram. 1 billion. Please don't tell me there aren't people out there. And they're probably right in your community. Most people's diamonds are built on people they know. Okay? Most people's diamonds are built on people they know. When we went 6-star last year, every single one of those diamonds were coaches who had been on my team for over a year. One of them, 5 years. Took her 5 years to go diamond. Okay? But I never gave up on her, but I did not slow down because she didn't want to do anything. I had to keep going and I had to continue to bring on more people, right? And that is how we went 8-star and 5-star. And then I got my 3rd business center that's now 1-star, right? I didn't stop because other people did. I didn't let other people determine my future in the business. So you keep growing, you keep going, and you build this as big and grand as you want. But you have to decide what it is that you do want. And those dreams are going to change, right? When I signed up, I had no intentions of doing anything with the business. I thought, an extra $100, $200 a month, that'd be great. I can go shopping with that. I love shopping. That'd be great, right? But I had no intentions of doing anything. It was more like if people wanted to do it, then I would let them, but I wasn't going to actively seek out people. Here we are 6 years later, about to be a 2-time elite team, right? Things change. Okay. But once that light bulb went off, that the income with this is limitless and that I get to work with who I want to, because I had my fair share of toxic job environments and I didn't want that. I want to work with women who I want to work with. I don't want to have, that one person that ruins it for everyone. I don't want that. I want the coaches on my team to be my best friends. I want to know, and one of my coaches always says this, she's like, when I'm signing someone up, if I wouldn't share a bed with them at Summit, I don't want them on my team. And it's a great thing, right? And then Trina Gray, she's my upline. She always says, like, would I sit down and have a cup of coffee with this person? And if the answer is no, then I don't sign them up. And how beautiful is it that you get to choose? And I know in the beginning, it can feel like you're just taking whoever wants to come in, right? But you don't have to. You get to choose the women that you want to work with. You get to choose the people that you add on social media. You get to choose the people that you interact with. And you get to choose the dreams that you have. So I don't want you to base them on what you've achieved so far. So, you know what I mean? Like up until last year, I hadn't hit elite. So was that not allowed for me to shoot for elite again? And it wasn't even a question on whether we were going for it or not. It was, you know, Thanksgiving where you had to be 5-star and we weren't. And it was like, okay, next day, what's the plan for elite? We got to start now because we're not starting January 1st. It's too late. We got to start now. Right. And so when you can start thinking about your business, are like, what are my dreams with this? And who are the women that I want to do this with? Then you can speak to those women on your social, and you don't have to prove anything to do that. You don't have to prove anything to tell people where you're going. So if 2021 hasn't started off the way that you imagined, trust me, I told my life coach in March, yeah, we're not going to hit elite this year. Like, it's just not happening. Like, I don't have the people. I also have a really bad attitude. So, and we're literally going to be elite on Friday when the report comes out. So I get it. It's really easy to spiral in that negativity, but you just have to ask yourself better questions. So don't tell yourself, I can't find business builders. I can't hit Success Club. Nobody likes my posts. Blah, 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 blah. All the negative shit that we tell ourselves. Don't tell yourself that. Now, those thoughts are going to come in. That's just the human brain. That's how it protects you, right? If it fears that you're in danger, then it's going to tell you something negative to get you to stop. All right? That's what your brain thinks is how it protects you, because that's what it had to do a million years ago. If you'd walk out your house and a saber-tooth tiger could jump and kill you, right? Like, had to be on alert at all times. Obviously now we like do everything from our phone and live in an air conditioning home. Like, you don't have to worry about a saber-tooth tiger, but your brain hasn't really evolved since then. So you get to decide if the thoughts that your brain tells you are true or not. So I knew when my brain was telling me that we weren't going to hit elite, that was false. And so I got to decide whether I wanted to sit and spiral in that negativity or whether I wanted to go find all the evidence to say that wasn't true and then get to work, right? So I could sit there and say, we're not going to hit elite this year. And then when we didn't, because of my bad attitude and my lack of action, then I would have justification on why it didn't, right? Or I could say, thanks for offering me that thought. That's false. I'm going to go find incredible women who want to build this business and want to get their products paid for every single month and bring in some extra money for their family. And then I had to get to work to do that, right? And again, your brain is going to continue to offer you negative thoughts. So maybe if you missed Success Club last month, your brain's telling you, well, you missed it last month. There's no way you're going to get it this month. You get to choose to believe that or not. And the way that you do that is you ask yourself, okay, is this thought serving me? No. It's going to be most 100% of the time, no, this thought is not serving me. And then you get to say, okay, do I believe this? Now, you might kind of believe it, but you also know it's July 6th. Like, you got freaking whatever, 24 days to lock it in. You can do that. You could do it tonight if you wanted to. There was a launch today. You may have heard of it. It's a program called 645. Okay. Right. Like, you could hit Success Club today if you wanted to. Like, I hit Success Club last night, signed my 3 coaches, Success Club, boom, 60 months in Success Club today. Okay. Then you get to decide, okay, what are all of the reasons why this thought is false? And write down as many positive things you can. And then you just keep repeating those positive things to yourself. Because again, your brain is going to offer you that negativity. You get to choose whether or not you believe it. But the best way to combat that is to write down all of the reasons why that thought is false, right? So I can say, well, I had a success starter last month. Wow, I had 8 girls who count for elite hit success club. Oh my gosh, we had huge numbers in volume. That's going to be great for APV. I brought on X amount of coaches, right? Like write down a laundry list that tells you why that thought, whatever yours is, right? Whether it's success club, diamond, social media, it doesn't really matter, right? Write down all the reasons why that's false. And then operate from that positive place. Because if you are operating from that negative space of, I'm not going to hit Success Club this month, nothing positive will ever come from a negative mindset. And when you are in control of your mindset, you are in control of this business, because nobody gets to tell you what's true or false about this business. Only you do, right? That's why some people come in and have a bad experience and they quit. And that's why some people come in and blow it up and change our entire lives. It's because of their mindset. We're all doing the same thing. The business model is what it is, right? So you get to decide what this business is to you. And I allowed this to change my life. And my hope, basically my mission, my purpose, is to give this gift to other people. I went to a wedding last weekend in Texas for my dear friend Katie. She's on my team. And she reminded me again, if I hadn't seen your post 2 years ago and signed up that night, I would be 6 feet under. And I know that's really intense and that's not going to be everyone's experience. But when I was at her wedding this weekend and signed her marriage certificate as a witness, it was just a crazy huge reminder on what it is that we actually do. We don't sell workouts and shakes and energize, right? Like that's part of it. But what we do is we impact women that otherwise wouldn't have had that kind of impact in their life. And that's that impact in your own life. Because what if I decided not to post that night about coaching and put my coach application in the comments? I wouldn't have my dear friend, and her new husband wouldn't have his wife. And I just cannot take that lightly. So when people say Success Club isn't important or Elite's not important or Diamond's not important, I'm like, you don't get it. This isn't points or titles. I mean, it's fun, right? Like I love all that stuff. I'm a type 3, like I want it all. But it's the people that you're going to impact when you just decide to get out of your own way, to leave your ego at the door and just do the vital behaviors, because that's what's going to change your life. And I know it seems so simple that it can't work, but I promise that it does. And really, really take serious the mindset piece, because that's going to be the difference for you between success and failure. It's all mindset. All right. What questions do you guys have?
That was amazing. I was like tearing up with your story at the end. That was incredible. So cool and such a good reminder. Great story to remind people of like why we do what we do. I agree. Like we're getting ready to go to Nashville. I don't know if your team is doing anything for a summit, but a bunch of us are going. And, I just think about this trip coming up and like, I wouldn't have the friends there that are going, and we wouldn't be knowing we're going to have this epic trip. Like it would not be happening if it weren't for, like you said, my coach asking me 3 times and me saying, no, 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 ew, no. So I love that. Yeah, you guys take advantage of Danny while we have her. Ask whatever questions you have. You can type them, unmute yourself, whatever you like.
Yeah.
Not all at once, though.
Yeah, this is the best part when everyone just stares.
I know. Also, question, just kind of a general question. Do you run your groups through bod groups, or do you still do Facebook? Because I know you're around a long time like me, like we obviously all started on Facebook. So what do you do? What do you find most success with?
I love my Facebook community. Like it has over 1,000 people in it. It's just kind of like a well-oiled machine. Like it's simple. We check in with our workouts, and I post meal plans once a week, and that's pretty much it. But it's like, it's a community. So I do bod groups for new programs. So like I did one for Let's Get Up, and then I have my 80-day obsession one, and obviously I have my 645 one that'll start in a couple weeks. But I feel like bod groups could be really great. I just haven't put the energy into it, but it does seem like because it's off social that people actually forget to check in over there. So, but again, I feel like I could put more effort into it to make it more like, my wellness community is called the Lemon Loft. So to make that more like that. But for now, I'm diehard Facebook.
I think it's hard for like coaches like us who have been around a long time, who just, that's where our customer base has been for so long. It's kind of hard to make that shift, but I think it is a lot more adaptable for newer coaches because they're starting from square one.
Right.
So I'm starting to like it. I kind of converted at the beginning of the year, and it's been a slow road, but it's going, and I just want to be able to help my coaches start that way too. All right, there's a question. Inviting to coaching, what do you tend to lead with? Community, income, opportunity, changing your life? I'd love to hear a few of your opening captions examples.
So everything I post is like through the lens of a coach. So again, when I have this mindset shift of like, I'm not talking about boot camps anymore, because if you're doing your job as a coach and you're posting your workouts, your supplements, your energize, all that stuff each day, people are going to want fitness from you. So I don't feel like I have to go hard in the paint to fill a boot camp each month. Now, obviously I still offer them, but it's not something that I'm like going to talk about every single day, until it's full kind of thing. Like I'm going to mention it once or twice, and then I talk about coaching in every post. So everything I do leads back to coaching. So, I mean, you can go to my Instagram, 99.9% of my posts are about coaching. And so if I'm standing outside with Chloe in the middle of the day playing in her aerial splash pad, I bring it back to coaching, because coaching gave me this freedom to be home with my daughter and to afford a $50 fucking blow up thing from Disney, right? Like, I bring everything back to coaching, everything. And you can read my posts. Literally everything comes back to coaching. So I did lead with income really, really hard, but now that we have to not really share numbers, I feel like it's a little harder. So now I'm really going hard with the freedom. Because to me, that is why I work so hard, because I want to be where I want, when I want, with who I want, whenever I want. So if my coach Katie texts me a week before her wedding and is like, I don't expect you to fly to Texas, I book a flight right then, first class. That's freedom, right? Not having to worry about how I'm going to pay for that ticket or pay for the hotel or the $50 Uber each way from the airport to my hotel. Like, that to me is freedom. And that's why I work so hard. And so I bring everything back to coaching, no matter what it is. Lunch with my daughter, being home during the day, those crazy qualifications that we, are up all night, making sure everyone's active, like whatever I'm doing, it comes back to coaching. Because if I hadn't found, or coaching hadn't found me 6 years ago, this wouldn't be what my life was like. So I signed up in 2015. I lost my job January 8th, 2016 with $61,000 in debt. And I was only making $1,000 a month as a coach. And with the support of my husband, we decided to go all in. And I didn't know how to manage my time, going from a full-time working part-time coach to now being a full-time coach the next day. And so my first year as a full-time coach was not stellar. Most people's spouses probably would have been like, you need to go get a job, girl. Like, this is not what we're talking about here, right? But then I got pregnant with my daughter, and I was like, no freaking way am I going back to work. It's not happening. And I did. So everything for me is about coaching, because I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have any of that I just talked about because I bought DVDs 6 years ago. It's because I became a coach. So I lead with that.
Love that. Yeah, everything leads back to it for sure. I think we all can make posts like that in our lives, and how everything leads back to coaching. What are a few of your favorite personal development books?
I actually, so I'm really focused. I'm very income driven. So I'm really focused on doubling my income this year. And so I'm reading a lot of books on money. So I just finished Get Rich, Lucky Bitch. It's actually really, really good. And she doesn't give any financial advice at all. So the title is a little confusing, but really great lessons, a lot about mindset. My absolute favorite is The Go Giver. I listen to that anytime I get more into my ego than into my purpose, which for me as a type 3 is very easy because I'm in life. So The Go Giver, I probably listen to at least 5 times a year. And it's really short on audio. I love The Energy Bus. The Power Positive Leadership is one of my absolute favorites. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I read in 2017, and that changed everything for me because I was that coach in the beginning that was always blaming others for my lack of success. Well, she doesn't want to go emerald, so I can't hold diamond, or she doesn't want to go diamond, so I can't go 1 star and earn the New Leaders Conference. Like, I was that coach, and I never want to be that coach again. So I had to learn to stop giving energy to things that did not matter. Because if somebody comes in and they want to blow this business up, freaking awesome. Somebody comes in and just wants to order product every single month, freaking awesome. Like, that doesn't change what I'm doing, and it doesn't determine my success. Only I determine my success. So that was a game changer for me as far as where to put my energy. But I'm all about like energy and positivity. So those tend to be my favorite books.
Awesome. A couple on there I haven't heard of before, so I was writing them down. Nice. Anything else you guys want to ask?
What would you say to someone who has been a coach for a long time, but has always done very part-time coaching? And like, how do you attract a coaching vibe when it's always been like a part-time back burner part of your life? I've had discount coaches and my focus has always been a challenge group. So what would you highlight to attract other coaches when coaching has been never my focus in 4 years? Does that make sense?
Is it your focus now?
Yes and no. I love my challenge groups, but if I don't want to go back to work, and so I need to make more money.
Okay.
Which means shifting over. So
Yeah.
how do you attract it when you've been doing it so long and shift your focus? Like, what is it that's going to attract other people if I haven't even done that yet?
I think people are attracted to where you're going, not so what you're saying right now is the exact reason why a lot of women say no to coaching, is because they can't be a coach because they don't have results, right? Like, they don't have a beach body, whatever, right? Is it necessary for someone to have results to be successful? No. It is not necessary for you to have proven all of these coaching accolades to attract high caliber women to your team. It's your mindset, it's your language, and it's where you tell your audience where you're going, because people are interested in the journey, not the destination. Even though we all think everyone's interested in the destination, they're really not. People want something to follow along with. So, there are people that I invite that they're like, oh, I love watching you climb to the top. Like, a girl sent me a message today. She's like, I cannot wait to see you become top coach. I'm like, you will, right? Like, but they're not joining me, right? But people love to watch others. So you have to, one, decide where you're going. Obviously, if you want to create a full-time income, like 2-star and beyond is going to be the goal. So you need to find other women who want to create an income from this, whether that be part-time or full-time, doesn't really matter, right? But someone who wants to create an income. So that's the language that you want to use. And you have to talk about where you're going with this. And I think it's so important to be honest. Like, yeah, I have been a part-time coach for the last 4 years, but now I'm ready to go all in. And I have the experience and the team to help other women be successful. So I always think leveraging your team is huge. Like, a lot of my coaches will be like, you get my coach when you sign up. Like, they pour me out, for lack of a better word, right? Like use your team, like leverage that. Like when we're number 36, like we are right now, my whole team is like, join the 36 team. Like, right? Like that is personally my ranking, but it's our team's ranking. Like I wouldn't be that rank without the team. So I tell all of my coaches, like tell them to come join an elite ranked number 36 in the company team. And you, again, you don't have to have those, right? Before I had those, I still could attract high caliber women. It's just the language that you use. And then when you start attracting those high caliber women, then those accolades come and it just builds more and more credibility. But I think for you, letting your audience know, like, hey, I have been a part-time coach for the last 4 years. Now I'm all in, baby. And I'm looking for women who want to build an income. You know, again, I always make it very clear, you do not have to want to quit your job, because people think that's like a prerequisite. And it's like, no, I lost my job. I can call your boss and ask him to fire you if you want the same experience, but I lost my job. I didn't quit it. So just tell people where you're going and be completely honest about it, but also know what you bring to the table. You have been a coach for 4 years. Sounds like you run awesome challenge groups. Like you have a lot to offer women who want to sign up with you.
I was also going to say, like you, Danny, you mentioned like you can relaunch a program anytime you want in your business. You can relaunch your coaching business anytime you want, at any speed you want to go at. So that just reminded me of what you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now McKenna and I are really willing to get whored out over here. We're just like, we can whore us out.
I am honestly probably going to take you up on that. So feel free to, I'm going to call you when that happens.
I got good rates. It's good. All right. Well, if you guys, unless there's other questions, we'll let Danny go. I so appreciate you taking your time to chat with us, and we cannot wait to help celebrate you being elite 2 times and a 15-star team. So congrats on all your success.
Yay. Thank you guys. Have an amazing night.
Have a great night.